School Freeware's Word 2007 Tutorials. Tutorial 10. Working with Pictures. First thing we need to do is insert a picture. So I'll click on Insert, Picture, go to the location of the picture, which happens to be on the desktop, and select the picture. I'll click on Insert, and now the picture is inserted into Microsoft Word. To resize the picture, you can click and hold on the squares and drag the picture over, and you'll find that clicking and holding on the squares will distort the picture. I'll go ahead and undo this. If you click and hold on the circles, you can resize the picture without distorting the picture. Next, we can go ahead and adjust the brightness and contrast any way we wish. We can make it brighter or darker. We can increase the contrast or decrease the contrast. Also, within many of these settings, you'll find more options. If I click on more options, I can adjust the brightness and contrast 1% at a time, if I choose. I'll go ahead and close this, and I will reset the picture and do a quick resize. We can also recolor the picture. There's many preset variations of coloring. I can turn it to sepia. I can make it black and white. I'll just reset this. I can even turn it to grayscale. There's one setting that I like to show off, but I can't do it with this particular picture, and that is changing the transparencies. So I have a picture here available on document 2, and here we have a header that looks real nice, except for there's a terrible green border around the buses. So by clicking on the buses, I'll go into Format and Recolor. I can set the transparency color to green, and which removes the background of the bus. I'll do the next bus, recolor, set transparency color to green, and now the Word document heading looks a whole lot better. I'll go back to document 1. Moving on, I'll reset the picture, and we have picture styles, which is new to Word 2007. There are some preset picture styles that you can choose from. I'll go ahead and reset picture, and we can make our own picture styles. There's picture shapes that has hundreds of shapes to choose from. Picture borders, which includes colors, lines, and dash styles. Also, as a reminder, on some of these settings you'll see things like more lines, in which you can choose different line styles within the dialog boxes. Picture effects is really neat. There's plenty of preset effects, which include bevels and 3D orientation. And here we have the crop. So if I wish to crop out some of the background, this showing this the flower itself and not some of the cactus and mountains, I can go ahead and do so using crop. One of the more important features of using Microsoft Word with pictures is to have pictures interact with text. Here in document 3 I have some text. I'll go ahead and insert a picture into it, and I'll select a picture, this one, click on Insert, and here we have a picture all set within the text. I can change the position of the picture to work with the text. And I can also change the text wrapping manually. I can change it to top and bottom. Click and hold and move the picture around and the text avoids the picture. Try with square and line, through, behind text, and here if I have it behind text I can no longer select the picture because the text is in the way. So what I can do is I can just hit enter a couple of times and then select the picture and change the text wrapping. I'll change it to in front of text. There we are, and I can also move the text back the way it was. In text wrapping we have more layout options, and here in the advanced layout there's text wrapping, and I have a few more options to choose from. Like say for example with square I can choose left only for text wrapping, and now the text would only be on the left. One other thing to note, if I set the text wrapping to through, I can go ahead and edit the wrap points. When I click on edit wrap points, this red box appears around the picture. If I click and hold on one of these squares, I can move the squares around, and notice how the text moves depending on where the red line is. If I click and hold in the middle of the red line where there isn't any square, click and hold, I can create a square and move a new square out, changing the way the text behaves with the picture. And basically working with pictures and text together is as simple as changing the text wrapping and the position. I'll go back to document 1, click on the picture and select the Format tab. There's a few other things I'd like to point out before this tutorial ends. First one, we have this little green ball to the top of the picture. When I position the mouse over the green ball, the mouse turns to a little circle. When I click and hold, I can rotate the picture. To fix this picture in an easy way, I can go into size and bring up the size dialog box. Inside we have size and rotate. And you see that the rotation is set to 356 degrees. By using the up arrow or putting in 0 where rotation is, I can turn the picture back to a rotation of 0. I can click on close, and now the picture is set without any rotation. By right mouse clicking on the picture, there's a command called insert caption. If I click on insert caption, it allows me to insert a caption for the picture. We're quickly running out of time, so I'll just recap by pointing out that there's plenty of extra settings within the picture format shape dialog box. And here we have things like fill, line color, line style, shadow, format, 3D rotation, picture settings, and one for the text box which we don't have. I'll close this down. We also have the settings for size and rotation, and again the text wrapping, more layout options with the picture position.